and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Neha Bhardwaj-Alter and this is Game On, and we're building up to IPL 2025. There are a lot of stories that we will be bringing to you on this edition of the IPL. Today we talk about the three most valued teams in the IPL. When it comes to their brand value, they are right there at the top. We begin with Chennai Super Kings. Where do I even start with Chennai? 5 times champions, Chennai Super Kings, their brand value went up to 52% last year, and it emerged as the most valuable team at $122 million. Now, there are many reasons behind this loyalty. Not only have they won the title 5 times, of course, they've made it to the playoffs 12 times, which shows their unbelievable consistency. And on top of that, they have had the talismanic touch of MS Dhoni. He is a magician. He is their miracle man. He is Tala Dhoni, who can transform a team of daddies to champions. Now, MS Dhoni may not be the captain of this team this season, but we know that he is the guiding force behind their new skipper, Ruturaj Gaikwad. They have a new captain. Yes, so it's a fresh new start for them in that sense. They've got a new captain, a new squad. Do they have it in them to make it to the playoffs? Let's look at the squad. One of CSK's biggest strengths remains their experience. With the return of Ravichandran Ashwin after a decade and the inclusion of Sam Curran after 4 years, the team gains 2 all-rounders who can be crucial in pressure situations. Ravindra Jadeja's presence in the middle order, that ensures depth in both their batting and bowling, while Shivam Dube, he provides the firepower to accelerate the innings. The bowling unit will be led by Matisha Pathirana, whose lethal Yorkers have made him a vital asset. He will be supported by the spin duo of Ravichandran Ashwin and Noor Ahmed, adding variety to their attack. So, to discuss these 3 teams, we started with Chennai. Let's introduce our guests for the day. Jamie Alter, our YouTuber, cricket analyst, writer, actor, joins us here. Jamie, you've been, doing your homework on all these teams and how all the fresh squads have stacked up for this IPL, because there are going to be big changes after that mega auction in November last year. We're talking about CSK, MI, and RCB. 3 teams that fans love. They've got huge fan bases, but haven't done well in the recent times. RCB did make it to the playoffs, but only just on net run rate. Let's begin with CSK. How are you looking at their squad? How balanced is this squad? And do you see them making the playoffs?
There's plenty of balance. There's plenty of obvious issues as well. But again, it's CSK, it's MS Dhoni, it's Gaikwad, it's Jadeja, it's the return of Ravichandran Ashwin. There's a lot to like about this squad. And again, I mean, there have been past seasons where we've looked at the squad that CSK put together just after an auction and gone, Dad's army, can they do it again? Oh, again, they're going with the same players. But this team has often proven so many of us wrong, which is why, like you asked me, do I see them in the playoffs? Absolutely, I do see this Chennai team led by Gaikwad, with Dhoni around, with the return of Ashwin, with some proven performers, a right blend of, of older players, experienced players, and then youngsters. So I believe, despite some problems, and I'm sure we'll discuss them as we keep on talking about CSK, I still feel this team can make it to the playoffs. Can they win the title? I'm not so sure about that. But playoffs, I would not be surprised.
Now, we always know when it comes to Chennai Super Kings, it comes down to their home advantage and how well they utilize that. Do you see them having that being sorted out, with the spinners that they have? And Matisha Pathirana, how good he was for Mahendra Singh Dhoni and for CSK in those conditions, even in Chennai. And of course, the conditions were slightly different than what we expected. It wasn't completely like a spin-dominating track. But having said that, do you think that's what they'll go for this season?
Absolutely. Ravichandran Ashwin played, 6 or 7 seasons for them. He knows the conditions. He's been here. He was part of that fantastic Chennai team, that won the CL T20 and a couple IPLs. So getting him back, okay, he's not the spring chicken anymore, but he's got a vault of experience. And I think the fans in Chennai can take a lot of confidence from knowing that Ashwin, now retired from international cricket, is fully focused on CSK. Dhoni behind the stumps, Jadeja bowling, and Noor Ahmed. I mean, Noor Ahmed is a young Afghanistan player, but despite his young age, he's played a lot of high quality white ball cricket for Afghanistan. He's a regular in so many leagues. So as far as Chennai goes, there's no Moeen Ali right now. There's no Mitchell Santner. But I believe as many games as CSK play at home, Noor Ahmed should play right behind Ashwin and Jadeja, which then again makes it tough for someone like Devon Conway, who's won a title with CSK to get in. But again, it's Chennai. You need to play at least 3 spinners. Ravindra's there, but he's not really been used as a bowler by Gaikwad or Dhoni yet. I keep saying Dhoni because yes, he's not the captain, but it's impossible to detach that massive presence behind the stumps. So I'd say Ashwin, Meha, Jadeja, and then Noor Ahmed. As long as we're playing at the chip-off, these 3 have to play.
How much of this will come down to if this will be Mahendra Singh Dhoni's last season and that they'd want to do it for him? And I'm only saying this for the crazy fans who want Mahendra Singh Dhoni to play on forever. But we know the reality, it is not going to be easy for him. We've already seen what's happening with Virat Kohli, when he says that, look, I like the break in Dubai, when they got that break during Champions Trophy, he said, I'm not young anymore. I need the break. I cannot do this. So we're talking about Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Do you think this is probably his last season?
You spoke of Dubai, and yes, during that Champions Trophy, we journalists who were there for 3 odd weeks, we had a lot of downtime. So as we do during downtime, we catch up in the press box, outside the press box, and because there were several journalists from Chennai who follow CSK and who've done stories, I asked them. I said, "What's the buzz?" 3 of them had no doubt that this is the last season that Dhoni will be around as a player with CSK. Now, we've heard this before. I've been told before this, it's his last season. But I think Dhoni's dropped enough hints that this probably is his last season. You mentioned Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is extremely fit, but he's 36. Dhoni is 6 years older. And I think, I might be wrong here, Meha, but isn't he the only player in this IPL who does not do anything else for 10 months of the year? He doesn't play state cricket. Yeah. He doesn't play for any clubs. He just goes off into his world there in Ranchi or wherever he is. But then he rocks up, just before an IPL season, and he has to train probably twice as hard, Meha, as every other active cricketer, international, club, domestic, whatever it is.
Yes.
So you look at his fitness. He's extremely fit. But Meha, he's 42. How many more years does he have in him? I think this is probably the last one. And look at the kind of reception Dhoni gets when he lands up in Chennai. What better way for Dhoni to go out than with a 6th IPL title?
Okay. Maybe this is Dhoni's last and maybe this could be his swan song. But we move on to Mumbai Indians. Now, they've also won 5 IPL trophies but have also seen their share of ups and downs. However, that hasn't impacted their brand value. Mumbai are the 2nd most valued team in the IPL with a value of $119 million. Now, Mumbai will look to end their 5-year title trophy drought this season, where Hardik Pandya, who was booed at the Wankhede Stadium last season, had a disappointing last edition. He continues to lead the team. The squad itself features biggest stars in Rohit Sharma, Suryakumar Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah and Tilak Verma, who were all retained by the franchise. Mumbai Indians have a strong batting lineup, and their experienced bowling group with Jasprit Bumrah and Trent Boult, they will make the ball talk at the Wankhede. Now, their core is untouched from the last edition, but the addition of Ryan Rickelton, Will Jacks and Robin Mins, that has hugely strengthened their batting prowess. They also have Mitchell Santner, and they have Pandya himself as their top all-rounders. But Mumbai Indians have some problems. Jasprit Bumrah is not fully fit. He's likely to miss the first few games, and it'll be their biggest challenge in how they balance their side without Bumrah and how they manage him and his injury. The other challenge for Mumbai is that they have these new foreign players, but the inexperience of these foreign players. Ryan Rickelton, who's likely to open with Rohit, along with Bevan Jacobs and Corbin Bosch. That's if he indeed does play IPL after he was served a legal notice by the PCB. These guys are all playing their first season. So what do you think? Do you think MI have it in them to make it to the playoffs? We find out from Jamie. What do you think, Jamie, looking at their squad? I mean, they've got a good squad, no doubt about it. They've got some big power hitters. But again, they've gone in for some of their foreign recruits who are inexperienced, untested in these conditions. And we've often seen with foreign players that when you come into IPL, something goes wrong and they're not able to perform like maybe the way they've done in Big Bash or in other leagues around the world.
Has it really been 5 years? I heard you say that, and I was like, wow, that is a long time for a team like Mumbai Indians to not get their hands on a trophy. Expect them to perhaps correct that wrong. But look, I mean, getting down to all practicality, not having Bumrah around is a big blow. But frankly, if you ask me, I'm not too worried about their fast bowlers because they've got Trent Bolt. He's been around before. In fact, I was very surprised a few years ago when they let him go, along with a couple other big players. I think Quentin de Kock was one of them. Bolt, I mean, now retired from international cricket. This guy plays a lot of leagues. He's not young per se by elite sport standards, but he's very fit. I mean, look at the amount of catches the man takes. He can still move the ball, remains a massive threat in the power play. He's a huge asset. Deepak Chahar also kind of surprised that Chennai didn't go harder for him at the auction, Meha. He's got a lot of experience. Injury prone, so you also have to look at him very carefully. But I think until Jasprit Bumrah comes back, the fast bowlers that they've got this year should be able to do the job. Of course, I know fully well there's no replacement for Jasprit Bumrah, but let's hope it's not more than 3 or 4 matches and we get to see the genius that he is. Spin bowling, again, they've often had problems. I know we've done shows right here on this channel in IPLs gone by about how Piyush Chawla cannot be your main spinner. He's done very well the odd season here or there. He's not around, but the flavor of the season, Meha, Mitchell Santner's back. What a fantastic bowler, what a fantastic leader he's proven for the Black Caps. I had the privilege of watching him for 2 matches right now in Dubai. Might be tough to fit him into their starting 11, but I would assume that fantastic scouting talent that MI have, that heavy coaching staff, they're probably, and the think tank, Rohit Sharma, another captain, but him, Sky, Hardik Pandya, they're all going to be like, get this guy Mitchell Santner in. He's proven a pain in the neck for Indian teams with his left arm spin. There's no way that he does not, to my mind, play maximum games. They had that young Afghanistan spinner, Muhammad Ali Ghazanfar. Not having him at the last minute is a big blow, but I'm glad that they got in Mujibur Rahman because, okay, he might not start Meha, but if he's your second spinner, your go-to spinner, that's a very, very quality option to have. So, a few problems, I think, with the youngster, like you mentioned, Ryan Rickleton, Corbin Bosch, a couple other ones. They don't have any IPL experience, so that might be a problem. But overall, this team looks like a playoff team to me.
Yeah, which is the thing. They looked like a playoffs team even last season. The problem is that there were so many other things that were happening off the field. We obviously know what happened with Hardik Pandya being made the captain and Rohit Sharma fans not liking it. Mumbai Indians fans who've seen Rohit Sharma take this team to 5 IPL trophies, not liking the fact that he'd been, taken out of that leadership position. But do you think that would have changed now with Hardik Pandya, with his exploits in the T20 World Cup and how he played, then of course the Champions Trophy? Do you think the crowds are going to be far more accepting of Hardik Pandya given what he has done for India?
I would hope so. I personally was rather skeptical about this phase you're talking about. I remember we did shows on this same topic during the IPL last year as well as the T20 World Cup. I was very skeptical about how Hardik Pandya would be welcomed back in, not just with Mumbai Indians but also with India's T20 squad, given how bad his IPL went. But what happened? A very different Hardik Pandya was out there on the field during the T20 World Cup, and he had a fantastic performance. What has changed though since then is that Hardik Pandya, once Rohit Sharma retired, literally an hour or so after that T20 World Cup final, about 9 months ago, Hardik Pandya did not get the captaincy. Now, you'll know this, and just for the benefit of your viewers, for those 15, 16 months that Rohit was away from T20s, Hardik Pandya was India's go-to captain. But after winning the T20 World Cup with a fantastic performance in the final, he didn't get the job. Suryakumar Yadav got the job. So I'm wondering, as awesome it is to see Rohit Sharma, Sky, India's current T20 captain, and Hardik Pandya, a very successful player, be part of that think tank, I'm just wondering, how are they all going to get along? Tough calls, egos will 100% may have come into play. I've heard that there's a certain lobby building up to push Hardik back into the T20 captaincy before the T20 World Cup. I don't know how much to read into that because I think Sky's form has drastically dipped as a T20 player, but his captaincy, India has barely lost a game since he took over. So I'm keen, maybe I can call it a tasty side dish to this IPL. How about Rohit? Yes, he's gone from T20s, But what a comeback he had recently as a white ball player, a one-day player in the Champions Trophy. Hardik Pandya has been phenomenal as a player. Hasn't sort of, proven himself as a captain yet with Mumbai Indians. And then Sky, tremendous player for Mumbai. Maybe he has some issues with not getting the captaincy of Mumbai Indians. Again, I'm just speculating here, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see how these three coexist in that Mumbai Indians family.
Okay, we move on to Royal Challengers Bengaluru then. They may have never won the IPL trophy, but it still ranks as the third most valuable brand. And the team's success is due to its incredible loyalty and their passionate fan base. That's right, RCB, they had lost 7 of their first 8 games last season, but they made a miraculous turnaround by winning 6 games on the trot and getting into the playoffs by beating Chennai Super Kings on net run rate. The script was straight out of a Hollywood film, but their dream run ended when Rajasthan Royals beat them in the eliminator. Can RCB fans finally see their team win a trophy this season under a new captain, Rajat Patidar? Yes, Patidar has been entrusted with leadership duties, but the team's king, Virat Kohli, will always be there behind Patidar and behind his team, guiding this team in what will be their 18th attempt to win the trophy. It doesn't make an iota of a difference to the fans, though if they win, this is going to be huge. Chennaswamy is a graveyard for the bowlers, and RCB have gone in with reliable bowlers in Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Josh Hazelwood. They've also gone in with a number of multi-dimensional players in Liam Livingstone, there's Jacob Bethel, there's Krunal Pandya, along with Phil Salt and Jitesh Sharma. Jamie, 18th time is a charm. Is it even possible for RCB? Do they have the squad?
What's the saying? Cats have 9 lives.
9 lives, yes.
And now this cat is now into its 18th season, prowling around the boundary, often looking very, very lethal. But like you said, Mia, 17 times without a franchise, a title. It's a I'm going to be very honest, man. RCB is a perplexing franchise to me. There have been times when publicly I've questioned whether they're even in this to play cricket or it's just a brand building exercise. And once again, I mean, I feel like this is like Groundhog Day, and I'm talking about, on paper, they've put players together. Like Delhi Capitals, who also, like them, never won Meha across 17 seasons. This is that franchise where it really doesn't matter what you assemble on paper. It's how you execute, Hats off to Patidar Meha for convincing the think tank, and I really don't know who that think tank is inside the IPL setup. I know there's Mo Bapat and there's Andy Flower, but beyond that, who pulls the strings, I'm still not sure of that. He's had a fantastic time with RCB, very underrated, often comes out at number 3 and goes bang from the first ball. But again, it'll be tough on him to sort of look beyond the looming shadow of Virat Kohli, who's been there for 17 seasons. Then again, they've gone back to Josh Hazelwood, who's played with them before, really didn't have an impact. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, he's good for 4 overs, but also injury prone. Spin with this franchise has been a problem. It really surprised me how they let go of Yuzvendra Chahal, and he's been 3 years now. I think he's been away from them. So there are obvious problems there. I remember I was telling you on one of the shows last year how Cameron Green, his career was just taking off with Mumbai Indians, and now he's gone to RCB, and watch out, his career will end. He's nowhere to be seen this time around. So Liam Livingstone, you took his name. Is he England's version of Glenn Maxwell? Massively overrated. When was the last time Liam Livingstone ever did something? Will Jacks, I like the guy, but again, so inconsistent. So I'm looking from afar at that squad and saying, some good picks, some surprising let-offs, but not a playoff team, man.
Okay, the last question before we wrap this up. Between these 3 teams, who has the best chances? You've talked about the squads. Compare these 3 teams. Who has the best chance to make it to the playoffs and possibly even to the finals and win the title?
On paper, Mumbai Indians. On sheer unpredictability and experience, CSK. So I'm going to say CSK.
And you're not saying RCB at all. Do you think they'll make it to the playoffs, or that's also not?
Massive challenge for them to make the playoffs with this squad.
Okay. Then last question before I let you go. I'm going to wind this up. But then which is that one team you think which is the best right now in terms of on paper balanced squad?
Last year's runners-up, Sunrisers Hyderabad. Fantastic squad.
Okay. All right, Sunrisers Hyderabad, can they change it around? They do have a really brilliant squad, don't they? I mean, Heinrich Klaassen, the way he was hitting Pat Cummins, but I don't know whether he's going to be okay. He said he's okay. We'll wait and watch out for this one. Jamie Alter, thank you so much for joining us here. Well, that's it then on this edition of Game On. Hope you enjoyed it. Between these three teams, who do you think is the top title contender? Do let us know in the comment section below. For now, goodbye. Thanks for watching.